Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
It's Monday night. The Sports Hounds are live from the Real Talk Studios, A2D Radio, A2D Live. Stream us on Periscope, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Download us afterwards if you miss it. iTunes, Spotify, TikTok, A2D Radio is everywhere. We are growing rapidly. Don't let others fool you. The takeover is real. A2D Radio. I'm Rob. He's Brad. Frank Vesby back in the mix, producing the show. Thank Ralphie last week for stepping in.
Thanks, Ralph.
As always, the Sports Hounds are brought to you here on A2D Radio by Specialized Physical Therapy, located 3 convenient locations, Cherry Hill, Princeton, Burlington. Find them online at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment necessary. We got a lot going on tonight, Brad. We got Philly teams in action. We got the Flyers playing the Canucks. They were down 1-0. Last check, we have the Sixers up in Toronto playing the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully they can figure out some of their road struggles. Very, very talented team at home. Almost unbeatable there at the Wells Fargo Center. We'll see if they can go on the road, beat a Toronto Raptors team. We got Monday Night Football.
What a game this is going to be.
We got the Ravens. We got the Rams. Brings us to our poll question of the night, our Monday Night Football preview. Brought to you by ATS Sports Picks. Visit atsportspicks.com. Use promo code A2D. Get 20% off their services. Monday Night Football preview, Brad. Poll question. Will the Rams upset the Ravens? It's in L.A. Rams are a home dog. I mean, the Ravens can't put up 50 and blow out everyone, can they? I like the upset here tonight. The Rams really need this game. I'm going to take the Rams straight up. I'll take the 3 points, and I think there's going to be some points tonight. I'll take the over.
I agree, but I agree about the points. I think the problem is that nobody has really figured out a way to keep Lamar Jackson.
Well, he's impossible to defend.
And
he's too quick. He's too fast.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Rams' offense, they really need to break out and start scoring some points. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is the Ravens, what they did to New England was really, really impressive. That put them, to me, in another category. Right now, they are an elite team. I think they might be right now
They're the
best
team.
in football.
They're the best. Them are the Niners. Niners are very impressive last night as well.
Niners were really good too, boy. What they did to Green Bay
yeah,
last night.
I've kind of been a Packers guy the whole year when it comes to the NFC, but I mean, I can't really sing their praises anymore.
The only game the Niners lost was when Kittle was hurt.
Yeah, and they played Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle, pretty good team.
Yeah, and then they come back. Kittle was back last night, and they just made mincemeat out of him. I mean, that was a beatdown last night.
The Packers,
Getting back to the Ram game though, because that's what we're discussing right now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't see how the Rams' offense just hasn't been all that good this year. It's been very inconsistent, and I just feel that the Ravens are going to continue to score. Nobody really has had an answer at all to Jackson. I think it's going to be a game where, I could see like 27-20, something like that.
Is that an over? I don't think that'd be an over.
What is the over?
What did I say? I thought I saw 48. Let's see when that loads. But starts with the Rams.
Just for you, we'll make it 30-24.
30-24. Wow.
We'll make it 30-24.
47. I'm sorry. Started at 49, went down
to 47. Okay, I'm going back to my original.
And then you get the hook
27.
Now. This game started as a pick, shoots up to a 3.5 point favorite.
That means
road favorite
for
the Ravens.
That means
everyone and their sister
Yeah, that's
from the public standpoint is pounding the Ravens.
75%.
I'll fade that public. I'll take the Rams plus 3.5
I would
here.
say 75% of the public's money is going on the Ravens when the line moves that much in a week. That's a lot.
I'm putting it in
That's
right
a
now.
lot. I mean, honestly, the public is also, one thing about betting.
Stupid.
The public is usually wrong 70% of the time. And that's why bookies
That's
always
why
make money.
It's a recession-proof business.
Because the public is wrong 70% of the time.
I'm only getting 3 here. We'll put it in.
Yeah, gonna be close. I think the Ravens, just right now, are playing such a high level. I just don't.
Rams really need this game because if you look at the NFC playoff picture, they really need this game to get to 7-4. You got a big one next Monday night with the the Seahawks and the Vikings. That's got ginormous wild card division implications all the way around. So if the Rams if they want to keep pace in this thing, because
the Rams want to make the playoffs.
Would you agree? Would you agree that the NFC is by far the better conference this season?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you got
the NFC is just loaded.
Niners, Saints, which I was wrong about the Saints. They're really good.
Well, yeah, I've been telling you that all year. Thomas is going to set a new record with receptions this
break his own record.
Yeah,
What's he going to break? Marvin Harrison's record?
Yeah, he's going to have over 150 this year if he doesn't get hurt, which is
PPR monster for you fantasy guys.
Yep, that's ridiculous. And in any event, you're looking at 49ers are in, Seattle is in.
But you're gonna have 6 teams in the NFC playoffs. 5 of them could represent the conference in the Super Bowl. The NFC East is a joke.
Dallas and the Eagles are not representing.
They're not going
anybody.
anywhere. They're not representing anything, anyone, anywhere when it comes to the Super Bowl.
Green Bay, Minnesota, the Saints,
the Niners,
the Seahawks. Any one of those teams
could go.
Could go. I mean,
And
they're all really. I mean, I don't think any one of them.
And then the AFC, I think it's the Ravens to lose. I think the only way they don't go to the Super Bowl is if they go to New England.
I think the only way they don't make
Belichick figures something out, and he was just sandbagging in the first matchup and just totally puts a game plan together to shut down Lamar Jackson.
Well, I don't think
that's the only way the Ravens don't go to the Super Bowl. Because I don't think the Chiefs can beat them. The Texans can't beat them.
No.
The AFC wildcard picture is a joke. The Steelers stink. The Bills stink. I don't care if they're 8-3. The Bills stink.
The Bills do stink. They haven't beaten a team.
Yeah,
over
they lost.
They
got physically dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a bunch of wimps. So I have no respect for the Bills. You have the Raiders, who get their brains beat in by the Jets yesterday.
They're laughable. They're laughable. The Raiders.
I mean,
they're back to normal. That's all I can say. The last 2 weeks,
they're just a young team. Like they're just not.
They're not that good.
No.
They're not that good.
Relax on Derek Carr.
To get beat that badly by the Jets, I mean, come on. Listen. I understand the Jets are playing better. I get that. Sam Darnold was obviously sick, and it took him a couple of games to get the.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he's
been really good the last month.
He's knocked the rust off. I mean, leave it to the Giants' defense to wake everybody up.
The Jets' defense has really stepped up, and they're playing really well.
Yeah, if the Jets could
no one's running on the Jets right now.
All they need to be a really, really good defense is an edge rusher and a cornerback. If they can get an edge rusher and a cornerback in the draft this year.
If Darnold plays like this, then yes, they're very close.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about their defense. Their offense, the Jets still need a playmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a wide receiver that's
they're probably going to be picking what?
Probably around
9,
12,
10,
12 maybe. Listen,
12.
I think the Jets are only going to lose one more game this year. I think they're going to win all the rest of their games. They
have the Patriots again?
No, they don't have the Patriots. The only team they have to play, the only team they have to play that's good is the Ravens on a Thursday night. In Baltimore, they'll get pummeled that game. But they have a game. They have a home game against Miami. They're playing the Bengals this week. Who else do they play?
That doesn't matter. Frank, do you have a pick on the game?
Well, only because we do this every single week on the Fix, which you can catch. Well, unfortunately, we're not doing a show on Wednesday due to the holiday, but we
That's right,
do
Thanksgiving this week.
Yep, we do our picks for the annual Lemon Bowl, and so far that
Don't you guys have a trophy for that?
yes, the world famous $10 trophy. Part of it I made.
Who won last year?
Ralph did because of Super Bowl 53 being a hot mess.
No one on the Fix can beat Ralph at picking the games?
Well, right now Ralph has a several game lead on everybody so far this season.
Ralph is a sharp?
Yes, he's sharp, all right.
I guess you can't judge a book by its cover.
But this week he's 2 for 2, and right now I'm 4-0 for this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to this.
Well, what do you guys pick every game or no?
We
what are
pick-
the rules?
we
What are
pick-
the rules of this contest?
All right, so the rules of the Lemon Bowl are that we pick 5 games that we think are important for the season. So like this week,
I like
we
that.
had
You pick the big games. Gotcha.
And then we just basically pick the winner outright. No factoring in spreads or anything. And whoever has the best record at the end of the season, I think we're going to finish it at the end of the Super Bowl. So once the Super Bowl wraps up, then we present the winner with the world famous $10 Lemon Bowl.
All right, so obviously
trophy.
this game was one of the 5.
Yes. So
Wasn't that many marquee games this week?
me, Ralph, and Ryan.
Excuse me.
Good there.
Yeah.
We all selected Baltimore, and Mr. Noah Eaton selected the Rams to win.
Just straight up.
Straight up.
Okay. So just me and Noah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the root of my frustrations because I have been in a foul mood since about 4 o'clock yesterday. I am absolutely disgusted with this Eagles football team, this whole 2019, everything the way that's played out. It's just been disgusting, despicable, disappointing. Any other D-word adjectives you want to throw out there are fine by me. This team stinks. This team totally and utterly stinks. And I like Carson. I really do. I think he is a franchise quarterback. I think his best days are ahead of him. But, Carson's got to wear that L yesterday. Carson Wentz has to wear that L yesterday.
I think he handled it pretty well after the game, though. I mean, he went out.
I want him to handle it well in the game and make a play to win the game.
He owned it.
Seattle was begging to get beat. Carson Wentz couldn't execute. Doug Peterson, I'm sick of Doug Peterson. I'm sick of Doug Peterson. I've given up on Doug Peterson committing to run the ball. Miles Sanders busting off 4 or 5 yards of carry. He carries the ball 11 times. What are we doing? You go down the field. Carson Wentz had the worst first half I've seen an Eagles quarterback play in many years. Granted, he didn't get much help because Andre Dillard had a bad attitude about playing right tackle and got bull rushed the entire first half. I gave Doug a lot of credit for shuffling the offensive line, and Carson got better protection in the second half, but it didn't matter. They couldn't execute.
He doesn't have any receivers that can hang on to the ball.
I get
He's got a bunch of stone hands out there.
He missed open guys.
Oh, yeah.
He missed open guys yesterday in the first half.
There were several passes.
Let's go to the top of the game.
Okay. Let's start with the first drive.
The first drive. You're running the ball good. You're in a little bit of a rhythm. You get the 3rd and 7. You got Ertz open. He's got the linebacker beat. It was either a linebacker or safety. Beat by 2 steps. He throws the ball 2 yards behind him. Incomplete. Ball should have been intercepted. You got to punt the ball. Terrible throw. Nowhere near anything. You got to complete that against a good team Seattle.
And he had time.
Yes, he did. He had a clean pocket.
Yeah, he had time. He wasn't rushed.
Missed Zach Ertz by a mile.
Then the next drive. They get the ball down the field. The screen pass.
He misses Miles Sanders. I don't know if it's possible to miss
that was one of the ugliest
running back
screen passes
I've running back in the flat by that much. He threw it 8 yards over his head. And all he had to do, and he again,
it wasn't Rob. It wasn't just over his head. It was down the field.
And he's walking in for a touchdown.
Yeah, he is. You could see.
Miles Sanders, you get him the ball with that much space, he's going to make something happen. He's a really good player. That's a really good.
Everything was executed perfectly, and then the throw.
You say what you want about Howie's drafts, and yes, he has to be better, but he hit on that kid.
Yeah,
that kid can play.
He's a good player.
He misses that by a mile. He missed another screen pass in the first half by a mile. So that's 2 screen passes and a crossing route to Zach Ertz. Then he fumbles my football for the 5th time in the since week 7. He's fumbled the ball. He's lost. That's just lost fumbles. He's lost my football 5 times since week 7. That's unacceptable. I don't care if me, you, and Frank are his receivers. I don't care if the rest of the A2D fam is the offensive line. You hold on to my football. You cannot turn the ball over in this league. And I got news for you. If they go down to Miami and they're not blocking good and he's not protecting the ball in the pocket and they have turnovers, they're going to lose. Because Miami is not going to roll over.
Miami is just so
They're
bad.
not going to roll over. They're not going to roll over. Neither are the Giants, neither are the Redskins. They're not going to roll over because the Eagles want to go to the playoffs. You got to take care of the ball, Carson.
Watch out.
That's unacceptable how much he drops the football. He puts it on the
I'll tell you what. They better
on the grass.
They better show up.
Unacceptable.
They better show up against the Giants and the Redskins because I can pretty much tell you they're both going to. That's going to be both.
You're
those
getting their
teams
best shot.
Yeah, that's going to be their Super Bowls. So
I don't
better
know.
Show up.
Well, you got to play someone's got to play Dallas in week 17. Do you guys play Dallas? No, you play us in week 17.
We don't play Dallas anymore. We're done with Dallas.
Okay.
Washington plays Dallas again.
Okay, but how much you think Washington's going to want to ruin Dallas' season with a win?
Absolutely. Of course they will.
These teams are going to be playing. And then he throws the pick to Ertz. The seam route.
Oh, that was a terrible pass. It
Where
looked like he just threw the ball up for grabs.
He didn't even throw it up for grabs. He threw it directly to the linebacker. He had good coverage. Probably shouldn't have been thrown. And I get it. You're trying to make something happen.
That was a ball that should not have been thrown.
But he throws a bullet right to the linebacker. I mean, put some loft under it. Let Ertz run under it. I mean, what are we doing? So that's Ertz on a missed crossing route, 2 missed screens, 1 lost fumble, 2 fumbles overall. He got bailed out on what was a gift of a defensive holding call on Seattle on the other fumble. You know, he's got Miles Sanders at the sticks in the second quarter, wide open. He looks at him, doesn't throw the ball, tucks it, takes another sack. At least he held on to the ball that time. Misses 2 screen passes and throws the pick to Ertz. A horrendous half of football. And they're only down 10-3 because Seattle's
offense.
They're in the red zone. Wilson, he should have just ran the one ball into the end zone. He threw it over the guy's head. And then Metcalf, right in front of me, right in front of our seats at the stadium, beats Darby, surprise, surprise, by 3-4 yards, and he just goes right off his hands and he drops it. He had another.
Metcalf had a rough day yesterday,
and he had another drop in the second half.
Yeah, he was
could have really.
He was definitely a hand to stone character yesterday.
It's 10-3 at half. It felt like 38-0 watching the game, Brad. It felt like they were down 38-0.
It seemed a lot worse when even when you're watching it at home. I mean, the broadcasters, in particular, Charles Jackson was just all over the Eagles and the play calling.
Oh, Charles Davis?
Yes, I'm sorry, Charles Davis.
Yeah, he was calling the game?
Yeah, he was
that him and Kenny Albert?
Yes. And Charles Davis was exceptionally...
That's what we get? That's a grand scheme of things. I get Buck and Aikman are at the Cowboys.
They're at the Cowboys and Patriot game. Yeah,
but like, what else is a marquee game there? I mean, that's what you get. That's their number 2 team.
I mean,
that's brutal.
The Giants had.
Glad I was at the game and didn't have to be.
Who did the Giants have yesterday? The Giants had. Did they have Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts yesterday? No, I
What's
can't
that?
remember. No,
did you guys have a CBS game?
No, it wasn't them. It was Tom Brenneman and who was?
Well, Ian Eagle, he's a basketball.
Eagle,
he's a CBS guy.
Yeah,
he does the tournament games.
Ian Eagle is with Dan Fouts. They were calling the Jet game. The Giants had Tom Brenneman and I can't remember who else. But look at this.
He's unreal. Lamar Jackson. If you're not watching at home,
that was a
play
filthy
fakes
option.
He's so freaking fast.
Oh.
Play fakes.
I mean, he really is.
Look
at that. He had me thinking that he had the ball. Yeah, they're tackling.
I mean, that's such a good fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I mean, before you know it, he's already.
He's so
10
deceptive.
balls. Yeah, before you know it, he's already.
Yeah, but that guy had no idea where the ball is.
And look at how smart he is with the football. I mean, he sees somebody coming, he pulls it in.
You mean he's a franchise quarterback that actually protects the ball and doesn't hold it
he
like
had
a loaf
the run-
of bread in the
he
fucking
had the
pocket
ball.
like our jabroni does?
he had the ball out like this, but if you notice when the guy came in, he pulled the ball in. So
That was quite a hit right there.
Yeah, but they're at the 20-yard line.
Who's
now.
number 9? Is that Donald, number 90?
Yes.
That guy's not human.
90?
But getting back to the Eagles, so I'm at halftime. I'm down 10-3. It feels like I'm down 38-0.
But you're only down by a touchdown.
I get it. But I have no confidence that Carson Wentz can execute, lead this football team to a victory in the second half
problem is,
against a good team like Seattle.
Seattle put that touchdown on the board so quickly in the second half. All of a sudden, now you're looking at a 2-touchdown
Then it's over.
lead. And the way the Eagles' offense was, it seemed like they could have played till next Thursday.
And not gotten
another touchdown.
And they get one in garbage time, but that doesn't
but
count. We finally started hitting the tight ends on the corner routes that was open all game.
Right.
They had three in a row. They had three in a row to get down there.
But Seattle was playing a prevent defense. They just didn't want to give
I
up
get it,
anything
but
over
that
their heads.
route combination was open the whole game. The flat corner combo was open the entire game.
Rob, the problem was yesterday the Eagles did not throw the ball down the field. They were throwing short passes. The announcers made the point that the Seahawks were playing with 8 guys in the box. They knew that nothing was going to be more than a short pass. They weren't throwing the ball down the field. They weren't afraid that the Eagles were going to stretch the field on them. I mean, and did Doug ever throw, other than the interception when he tried to hit Ertz on that seam pass? I mean, it just seemed like they never threw the ball down the field. And they're a well-coached team. Pete Carroll's a smart guy. He picked up on it. He got 8 guys in the box. He wouldn't let them run the ball for that bad. He wasn't going to let them just run the ball. He was making Wentz try to beat him. And Wentz, with those receivers, Wentz isn't going to beat anybody. I mean, let's be honest. Listen,
I'll tell you what.
Blame Wentz. You can only blame Wentz so much. Those receivers are.
He's got to wear that. He's got to wear that L yesterday, Carson. He was awful.
He took full responsibility for the loss.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, but
he says the same thing every week. It's on me. I got to be better. I'm sick of it. Go out and play football. You make $31 million a year. Go win me a game.
Those receivers are horrible.
I get it. And Dillard was his head was not in the game.
He's an ass, that guy. And you know what? They're gonna end up
because he had it in his brain that he was gonna fail at left tackle from his comments on Thursday. I think it was.
Well, you know what?
It's like writing with your right hand instead of your left hand when you're left-handed. No, it's not.
Your old man is gonna move to the right side. He said he'd do whatever it takes. So I mean,
and then what?
So what? He's a team player, but I mean, at 37 years old, making him change positions. I don't know how smart that is, but it seems like you have no choice.
No, this is why you have Dillard, he doesn't have to do that.
Big V was not very good yesterday either. He was getting beat pretty much the whole second half.
No, and then Brooks leaves the game, and Pryor actually he didn't do bad, but he's a backup. But getting back to Carson Wentz, I'm going into halftime down 10-3. Feels like I'm down 38-0.
But you're only down by 7.
You're only down by 7, but
then when you're down 14,
I'm warming up McCown, especially when you're down 14.
When you're down 14,
or Sudds, whoever's number 2. Who is on the number 2 on the depth chart, Frank? Who goes in if something happens to Carson? Is it Sudds or is it McCown?
McCown, I believe.
See,
and then
Sudfeld. When they went down 14. Okay.
Here's why I
would have given Carson one more series, and if he didn't do anything, then
why I'm warming up. Here's why I'm warming up McCown, because it's an unwinnable game against Seattle yesterday. Between the weather, the receivers, the offensive line, and Carson's inability to execute the offense. Because I don't think Doug called that bad of a game yesterday. He abandoned the run, but I've come to expect that. I go into every Eagles game expecting 50 to 55, 60 passes. Because he has no interest in running the ball.
Yeah, but the problem is with those receivers,
I get it.
It's going to be real hard to be.
But
I mean,
he had open guys in the first half. I saw him with my eyes.
Zach Ertz is great. He is a
tremendous player.
He is a very talented player, and you could throw the ball to him all day, and he'll probably catch everything you throw to him.
Yes, he's really good.
He's got great hands, and he's quick, and he makes all the plays. But the rest of the guys are just not good. And the Ravens march right down the field and stick it in the end zone, and very quickly are on top 7.
Is that Ramsey 22?
Yeah, he got toasted just now.
He got toasted the whole drive.
Yeah, he got posted and toasted just then. I mean, the Lamar Jackson, he can do it all. Look at, I mean, that's a BB.
It's pretty good.
I mean, jeez.
Oh.
Of course, he has.
And I sat Hollywood.
But you know what though?
Doesn't matter. I won my week anyways.
You know what though, Frank?
Are you representing the Sports Hounds well, Frank?
He also had
yes.
all.
You gonna make the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm a lock because I just won this week.
He also had all day to throw. Let's be honest.
And even
But
Aaron
getting
Rodgers had a
back,
terrible
because
game,
like
I think. Christian
you're not
McCaffrey.
winning that game with the way Carson's playing, the weather, the line, the receivers. I'm giving Carson a break. Get yourself ready for the stretch because every game's winnable except for, I mean, the Dallas game's really your only
That's
tough game
winnable
left.
too. I mean, they're all winnable.
It's your only
games.
tough game.
Yeah,
You should.
but the way they're playing right now, I don't think they're going to beat Dallas. I mean, not that Dallas is all that in a bag of chips, but I mean, they're right now Dallas is better than the Eagles. Right now, Dallas, Ezekiel Elliott,
Dallas has a ton of talent.
Dallas,
And it's a
Ezekiel
shame
Elliott,
that they
and
have-
Amari Cooper are by far better offensive players than anybody the Eagles have
Not
to put out
only
there
them.
right now.
I mean,
And they have a tremendous
Gallup.
offensive line.
Gallup's a stud.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
Cobb is still got something left in the tank.
he's not bad. He's not bad.
Dak Prescott is having a way better season than Carson Wentz is.
Although he had a rough day yesterday. But
well,
you know what?
I mean, if you thought the
Everybody-
weather was bad in Philadelphia,
The weather was bad yesterday.
times it
too.
by 50 in New England.
Yeah, no, and that defense, playing that
defense
against that
to boot.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, you're not winning that game with Carson Wentz playing like he's playing, and the offense is playing like he's playing.
Well, you know what?
Sometimes, for the greater good, it's good to grab some pine and watch for a while. Watch a veteran try and go do something, and then you start him next week in Miami.
you know, last year,
that's all.
and I'm going to refer to the Jets because
Yeah.
I think this is an excellent referral. Sam Darnold finished the season really, really strong last year, if you recall. Okay, he was playing. He got off to a good start, then he started regressing, and then he was god awful. And the coach Todd Bowles sat him down for a couple of weeks, okay, and put in McCown. Okay, McCown was no better, but they put him in.
That's
for a
not the
couple of
point.
weeks. They
That's
let
not
him
the
sit-
point.
They let
Now-
him sit. They let him sit for a couple of weeks. Then they brought him back, and you know what? He finished great last year. And I'll tell you what, if Sam Darnold didn't get mono, the Jets may have been a different season for them. Because I think if Sam Darnold was healthy and okay, they would have won the game against Buffalo, the first one that they blew a 16-0 lead in the fourth quarter.
I agree.
I think they definitely would have beaten Jacksonville, and I think they would have beaten Miami. So you know what? Instead of being 4-7, they could just as easily be 6-5 or 7-4.
I hear you.
I mean that's how that's I mean that, but the whole moral to the story, and it's not a story by the way. The whole thing is Sam Darnold sat down for a couple of weeks, and they put somebody else in. And the Eagles defense is good enough against a team like Miami that if Carson starts stinking it up, the Eagles defense will probably score more points than Miami will score.
You're probably right.
So,
But sometimes for the greater good, sometimes you sit down for a few minutes,
I
take
agree.
inventory, because this is not the quarterback I fell in love with in 2017. I don't know who that guy is this year and last year, but that is not the quarterback that I fell in love with in 2017. He's apprehensive. He holds the ball too long. He turns the ball over. He's just not that. He reminded me of Favre and Roethlisberger when he was making his run in 2017. Kind of drawing it up in the dirt, scrambling around.
I'll tell you who he looks like right now. When he was playing poorly, was Eli. Right now, he's
not.
He stands back there. He holds the ball too long. Doesn't move around enough.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Well,
at all.
that's who he's looking like right now. I got to tell you, right
He
now.
looks slow. He looks confused. He looks like a one-read
And
quarterback.
who do you think looked like? What do you think Eli looked like last year?
I mean, it's not a bad comparison, but it's just a
He
cringe-worthy
looks-
comparison.
He just doesn't look right. I don't know if something is hurting him. I can tell you what, the Eagles' offensive line is nowhere near what it should be.
His inaccuracy is just it's woeful.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
it
woefully
almost-
inactive. I don't know if he's pressing. He doesn't trust the guys. He's scared he's going to get hurt. Maybe he is hurt. Got X-rays on his hand yesterday. I don't know what that's about. He's getting further tests today. Hopefully he's all right.
I mean, listen,
But
it's a bruised finger.
Before he hurt his hand, he was pretty bad too, though. So
he was awful yesterday.
Yeah,
he was
you can't-
god awful.
You can't blame the hand on that.
And I would have sat him down for a half and said, look, you got to let Josh go do something. Get ready to go in Miami. That's all. Because then what? You get Dolphins, Redskins, Giants, Cowboys, Giants.
So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay, against the Dolphins, I think Doug Peterson is going to be very conservative because they have to win that game. There can be no mistakes. He's going to be very conservative and he's going to let his defense dominate, which they will, because Miami is awful. Their offensive line is terrible, and unless you catch Ryan Fitzpatrick on the wrong day, which every dog has his day, and Ryan Fitzpatrick
that would be a very Eagles thing to do. Is get Fitzmagic. I'm just saying.
Listen, it can. I mean, he does have his days, but I can't imagine against that defense. Listen, as bad as the Eagles have played the last couple of weeks, their defense.
They're in
has
it
played
because
pretty well.
their defense.
Yeah.
Jalen Mills been terrific. Jernigan and
The
Cox
whole team-
both
the
played
whole
good
team
yesterday.
defensively
Nate
has been
Jerry
very
was a
good.
madman yesterday. Who Bradham was back.
I mean,
the only guy I can really point to that played bad on defense was Ronald Darby, and he stinks.
Listen, Rob. The Eagles in the last 2 weeks have given up 4 touchdowns. Okay, two of them were on
Trick plays.
So I mean, really, if you look at it, when standard plays are being run, they're not giving it up. They're not giving up that many points right now.
But how much of it is teams are just being conservative and just making this offense beat them right now?
I don't think it's that. I think it's the Eagles really have their defense right now is playing at a very high level. I mean, they really are, but they got to score, and they're not scoring enough. Now, against bad teams, the Giants, the Redskins, the Dolphins, these are teams that have their struggles. The Giants defensively are awful. The Redskins' offense is awful. The Dolphins are just dreadful on both sides of the ball. These are teams that are clearly flawed.
Would you agree that of all these gimme games, because there's no gimme, not with this team and this offense and the way this – I don't know what they do in practice. I don't know what Carson's doing. I don't know what the line's doing. I just don't know what's going on with this team right now.
I think they better watch out against the Giants.
That's what I'm trying to ask. I think this game is their most likely one that they can lose. If they're going to slip up, I think it's going to be
with the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Nah, I think that they're
traveling holiday weekend.
Nah, I think they're going to go to Miami.
If you're not ready for a division game, then shame on you.
The weather's going to be nice down there. I think they're going to go down there and they're going to put it on the Dolphins. I could see that game being like 37-14. I think they're going to put it on the Dolphins.
This offense can't score 37 points.
Yeah, but the Dolphins defense is pathetic. And then I guess they're going to play the Giants the following week. And you know what? The Giants are one of those teams that, if you let them get off to a good start, you could have a problem.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about the Redskins and the Giants games because they both have rookie quarterbacks. And I don't think a rookie quarterback is going to be able to do anything against this defense the way they're playing right now. This is the game.
Yeah, I can't see the Giants putting up more than 17 on the Eagles.
Well, Barkley is not right either.
No, there's definitely something wrong.
He's got his ankle or whatever.
He's got a high ankle sprain.
Let's get to some comments here. What's going on YouTube, Brad?
Okay, we're getting Trayvon Dixon talking about the Dolphins and Redskins, and they're 2-9. We know that. Looks like Trayvon says he's going to the Miami game he's going to Miami Thursday.
Good for you.
Have fun, my man.
Good
and
for
it's
you.
also his birthday today. He wanted the shout out.
Trayvon,
Okay,
happy
Trayvon's
birthday, buddy.
birthday.
Thanks
Happy
for
birthday,
checking.
my
Thanks for
friend.
checking. Bring home a win.
Yep.
I looked into going that game, but it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend and airfare was ridiculous.
Yeah, I
airfare
thought
everywhere
about
is
going
great.
there, but
Train fare is crazy
Yeah.
too. I mean,
For the holiday or in general?
it's for the holiday.
Yeah, for the holiday.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean they raised everybody raises their prices for everything on the.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Thanksgiving.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean really the best if you're gonna go down there, you're
All right, so
bound to
happy
spend
birthday,
money,
Trayvon.
you drive.
What else we got?
Basically, mostly him. A hello from Tom Arnone. And let's see, what else do we got here? Zill Jones talking about almost got swatoned off the I don't know what that means, off the Ben Franklin after watching that crap yesterday. Okay.
I think he almost drove off the
Oh,
bridge.
okay. Okay.
But we're glad you're still here, Zill.
Yeah.
Dude, the Ravens are too good.
The Ravens are already down, are already threatening again, aren't they?
They're outside the red zone, but I mean that was a big run. Is that Gus Edwards?
Yeah, the 30-yard line again.
All right, getting to Facebook.
Wow.
Andy Ritter checks in. Have a great show. Peter Evans, disagree with the poll. Don't think the level Goss play will get the W tonight.
Haven't heard from Roska yet.
Ravens outright. Who?
We haven't heard from Roska yet.
Well,
outright.
Roscoe was earlier
He's
in the
probably-
chat.
he's probably
Well, he
in
was
there.
in the YouTube chat earlier.
He's probably
he's talking about
rocking
his,
out for
he's
his
talking about his
Rams.
Rams. So I think
Yes.
he's more focused on the game right now.
Okay, here we got it at the beginning. It's all about
Yeah.
the Rams. Okay, there he is.
Bob
watching
Brinkman.
He's watching his boys.
Bob Brinkman, you got to throw some deep balls. I agree.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I've been saying, and that's what the announcers were saying yesterday.
And
Throw the ball down the field. I mean, even if nobody's open, throw the ball out
there's
of
a
bounds.
way to
Just give them,
there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do
yeah,
it.
just give them the idea that you might actually do it, so that they respect you. Look at that. There you go, Aaron
Is
Donald.
that Aaron Donald again?
I mean,
Is he 90 or 99?
Aaron Donald is 99. The player you're
that was
referring
number
to
50 that just made that.
Who's
play.
number 90? He's
90
been in
is
there
Michael
the whole time.
Brockers.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's
he's
having a
pretty
pretty
damn
good
good.
game
Yeah.
here in the early going too. Did they finally get him? I didn't even
Yep.
see it.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yep.
just, they
Well,
put him-
42 is just standing around like a clown, not doing anything.
Yeah, well, it's
It's kind of
third.
tough to block for Lamar now. You never know what he's going to do.
Yeah, but he's so quick.
And Bob Brinkman, forget the screens. Let me write this down. Hopefully Doug Peterson's watching. I know he's not, but if he was, let's get this tight end screen bullshit out of the playbook.
So they do.
I don't want to see
run.
another tight end screen for the next 5 years.
So they do
no
a run
more
on
tight
fourth-
end screens.
They do a run on 4th and 12, and they pick up 7, and now they're in solid field goal range. See, that's smart coaching, though. On the road, you get another point, you make it a 2-score game, and you immediately put all kinds of pressure on. Are they going to go for
They're
it?
going to go.
They're going to go for it. Well, I'll tell you what, that's Mike Martish. That's Mike Martish, and they are going for it, by the way, and they got it easily. Boy, oh boy, this Raven team is.
They're going to win the
They're
Super.
a
They're going to
machine.
win the Super Bowl.
Nobody's beating this team. This team is just ridiculously good.
Yeah, Bob Brinkman, forget the screens. I don't want to see another tight end screen the rest of the season. No more tight end screens. You
well,
want to throw a screen, get Miles Sanders a screen, barring that the quarterback cannot overthrow him by 12
The
yards.
problem is you can't keep calling the same play every time, or variations of the same play every
Big
time.
V. Big V was Big Zero.
Yeah,
That's from
he
Bob
was-
Brinkman. Yeah, he's.
He was awful yesterday.
I don't understand how he was so good when they won the Super Bowl.
Everybody was so good.
It
Nelson
turns
Aguilar was
out
really
with
good.
him, from what I've seen, especially his first season when he had to fill in for Lane Johnson, clearly he did not fit well as a right tackle.
Well,
And-
Dillard can't play right tackle. He can't
Right.
play right tackle. Like
And with Vaitai in the Super Bowl run, like he did a serviceable job playing left tackle. So at this point, if going into next season, assuming if Jason Peters doesn't come back,
he can't come back. Not at that money.
right, not that money.
So I need
Jason
that.
Peters.
I
is
need
gonna
that
be-
cap.
Jason
Yeah.
Peters is
You
going to
definitely
be.
need the cap.
I need him and Nelly's cap to go get me a player.
Oh yeah.
Jason Peters is going to be on the right side this week. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I heard that Lane has cleared concussion protocol earlier today, so he may play on Sunday. But with Vaitai, he can be a serviceable backup, but if he gets
He's best.
assuming Peters comes back,
Frank,
he's going to
he
be
is
buried
best-
on that chart.
He's best. He is best when he comes in to give somebody a blow.
Yeah.
See, I
And he plays
disagree.
maybe two or three plays in a row, and he's pretty good.
maybe that's the case. I haven't looked into it as deep like that, but it seems like when he knows he's starting and he has the whole week of practice with the ones, he seems to do a lot better.
Yeah.
As opposed to Dillard failed miserably.
Yeah.
Vaitai, you got to go in there. Then he's like lost and can't pick it up.
And the whole thing too.
But that's
right.
also on Doug and the coaching, because if you have a whole right side of the line that's backups, even third stringers,
exactly,
it's much easier for backup offensive linemen to come in, hit the ground running, and run block as opposed to pass block.
Yeah.
Tom Arnone says load up on the Rams. Not looking good so far, but I was with you before the game. Watch the video of our wide receivers from Sunday. Brutal. Carson will rebound. I trust him. I trust him too. I'm crushing him tonight because I think he was bad, and I would have went a different direction at the quarterback position in the second half just to give him a break. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Carson because this is not – and I understand he doesn't have the weapons he has from 2017. The sniff test, as they like to say, it's not the same Carson Wentz. He's lost confidence. I don't know if he's butthurt that Nick Foles took the team to the Super Bowl and won when he was on IR.
I don't think it's that. I
don't know what it is, but
he just there's something going on with him.
I don't know if he's scared to get hurt. I don't know if he is hurt. I don't know what's going on with him. But this is not the quarterback that I fell in love with.
Wow.
There's another dime by Jackson.
And that now makes it 14-0, 13-0. Holy crap! The Ravens are just.
Oh my goodness!
They're so good.
Did I just seriously bench Hollywood
Did
Brown?
I tell you I'd spot the 3? Yes.
Oh jeez.
Looking good right now. That's for sure.
I just pray the Cowboys game means something. Just not ready to give up hope. I mean, do you think the Cowboys win on the? That's from Tom Arnone,
Against
by the way.
Buffalo.
Do you think they beat Buffalo at home?
I think they kill Buffalo.
I think they beat Buffalo too. Do you think they beat the Bears?
They'll kill the Bears.
I think they beat the Bears too. They play the Rams.
They'll beat the Rams too.
Do you think they beat the Rams?
Yeah, you know why? Because the Rams beat them in the playoffs last year, and you know what? They're going to be out for blood because you know what? If they beat the Rams,
a major bullet. You dodged a major bullet yesterday with
the Cowboys losing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
because
but you knew the Cowboys were going to lose in New England.
Yeah, but if that's a normal fall evening in Foxborough, I think that the Cowboys win that game.
You don't know that. I mean, the weather took it. The weather also took its toll on Brady too. Neither one of them could really throw the ball that well.
But the Patriots, they're not dynamic. They didn't have Sanu. They're not dynamic this season.
But their defense is.
Right. I get it.
And and the Patriots always figure out a way to win the game.
But I'm just saying Dallas's defense played well.
Yeah, they did.
They have good players on their defense,
but not good enough.
Yeah, I get it.
Not good enough to beat the Patriots.
Thank God.
The Patriots always find a way to
win. Because if they won last night and the Eagles lost, it's over.
Then it would be over. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all going to come down to the Eagle Dallas game. It's all going to come down to that. That's but the other thing is, you're looking at if the Cowboys. I'm trying to think who they have to play. Okay, they lost to New Orleans. If
the Eagles and the Cowboys have the same record.
If the Cowboys beat the Rams, okay, even if the Eagles beat the Cowboys,
yeah, but the Eagles have the tiebreaker. As long as they split and they have the same record, the Eagles have the tiebreaker because of common opponents.
No, the Eagles do not have the tiebreaker because the Rams have the Cowboys are going to have a better conference record.
It's common opponents.
Common opponents over a conference record? Since when?
For a division. Frank, can you help us?
Conference record comes first before common opponents.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
I thought the conference record. See, it all depends. If the Cowboys beat the Rams,
Bob Brinkman checks in. The Cowboys are not that disciplined. They will coach themselves out of first place.
They might.
What did Garrett think? He would get a second chance late in that game? Yeah, I mean,
he actually
go.
did.
What an idiot.
Hold
on 1 second.
Yep.
What an idiot Jason Garrett is.
He
'Cause
is an
what,
idiot.
It's 13-6. They're on what? The 15-yard line?
No, they're on the 11-yard line. It's 4th and 7.
4th and 7.
You're down.
First off, it's a horrible play call on 3rd and 7.
yes.
If I'm calling the play there from the 11-yard line, I got 2 downs to work with. I'm giving the ball to Zeke on 3rd and 7. I'm seeing what happens.
And then
he
if
might
it's-
get the first down. He might score a touchdown. As long as you don't get stuffed, you have the whole.
And if it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, you can.
you have way more options than if it's 4th and 7.
Right. No, that was a terrible call.
And then you kick a field goal. What are you gonna do when it's
With
13-9?
With 4, with
what
4
does
minutes to go,
13-9 do for you?
nothing except if you score a touchdown.
Except they
you could
cover
win
the
the
spread
game.
because of it.
Well, I mean,
That's the only thing that
the whole-
accomplished.
And then New England gets the ball. Okay, and they end up pinning Dallas at their own 8-yard line, and you're asking Dak to go up against that New England defense, in 2 minutes in a horrible storm. You're asking him to go 92 yards.
Start on the 8-yard line.
Yeah.
Because was that the one where the Pollard dropped the ball on the kickoff? He let it drop.
The punt. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Or no.
that was a punt, and they didn't catch the
Did
ball.
you see the one kickoff? It might have been earlier in the game, but they didn't catch the kickoff and it was live. And thank God they got it. They
No, I
jumped on
didn't
it.
see that. I
Okay.
didn't see that part. I
I don't
saw
think that was in the crunch time.
the
but
fourth.
That happened,
No, in the
and it
fourth
was
quarter.
Comical.
With the punt, they didn't catch the ball, and the ball ended up stopping at the 8-yard line. I mean, you got to catch. Be that as it may, for if you're thinking that the Cowboys are going to go 92 yards of the Patriots in that weather against that defense in 2 minutes, ain't going to
Dak
happen
made
with no
Dak made-
timeouts.
Dak made some really good throws in the rain.
He did. He's
Talking
been
about big
tremendous.
picture
He was-
Cowboys game.
He's been tremendous this year.
Awesome.
But that's why I think they're going to beat the Rams. I feel
I don't disagree with you. They're more talented than the
If
Rams.
I'm
but
at-
Garrett
listen,
always messes everything up
he
for
does.
him.
If
See Jerry Jones blasted him today.
yes, I heard. Well, he deserved to be blasted. He's a moron. But look, bottom line, and I disagree with you about the NFL thing. I think its conference record comes before.
Well, Frank has it, right?
Yes. Here we go. The NFL tie-breaking procedures.
It's
between-
head-to-head first.
It is head-to-head
So
first.
that's 1-1. That's tied.
Best
Assuming the
one-loss
Eagles
tie
win.
percentage in games between the clubs. Then games played within a division.
Right. Then it's conference
Then
record, right?
then common games.
Really?
Then played within the conference. Then strength of victory, strength of schedule, best combined ranking among conference teams in points scored and points
Your
allowed.
option's not even in the mix.
Best combined
I
ranking
thought the
among
conference
all
record.
teams.
I thought the conference record was the
It's the fourth. It's the fourth
Fourth.
tiebreaker.
really.
Not even
Yep.
bronze, bro.
And if you want to know what the 12th tiebreaker is, it's a coin toss.
Yeah. No, I know that. I know that. But I mean, all right. I thought it was.
Doug will defer. Now let the Cowboys go in this
Yeah.
year, and we'll go in next
Oh,
year.
there we go. We're going to go by means of a coin
Wow.
toss.
Okay, so
Woohoo.
it's
All right,
common opponents.
Greg checks in. What's up, fellas? I agree to the poll. I'm all over the Rams tonight. I don't know if they'll win, but they'll cover, no doubt. Let's go. I mean, hopefully we get a little turnaround here for a lot of the fams on the Rams tonight, plus the 3.5. A lot of new faces, a lot of new names jumping in here on the chat, so we thank you for that. ATG Radio is always growing. We're always looking for new shows. We're always looking for talent. We're always looking for content writers. We break back bracketology. That's a mainstay. We have the Chucks Report. He breaks down the games, breaks down the film. A2DRadio.com. Check out all that. Drop us a DM if you want to get involved. Always growing, always accepting applications. Bob Brinkman, you think Garrett would have the foresight to see what would come? I'm assuming Bob's still talking about the field goal. I don't see how you kick a field goal there.
No, I don't either. I mean, you got
The fact that you're on the 11-yard line
That's-
against a great defense like that in the first place is great.
I mean, you can't guarantee.
gotta go.
You can't guarantee that you're going to get down there again. I mean, that's the height of arrogance to just assume that we'll get the ball back. We'll get it to 9 and then we'll get the ball back. Our defense will stop them and we'll get the ball back and we'll get a touchdown in the next. You don't know that.
I'm with you.
That is the height of
See,
arrogance.
the Ravens or the Rams got to get Gurley going here. If they can't abandon Gurley and the run here.
No,
Even though they're down 14-0, and it looks like the sky's
but it's
falling,
only
and
it's
LeVar's
only
going,
but it's only
you
it's
gotta
only
just
the second
you
quarter.
got to settle down. You're at home.
Well, that's what
Todd
McVay
Gurley's
is,
your bread and butter. He's your best offensive
that's
player.
what McVay is trying to do.
You gotta stick with him.
And get the ball down, get the ball to Cooper Kupp too.
That's a sling.
He was
Yeah,
covered like
that's-
he was covered like a blanket.
See, I don't like that call there at all. I don't like that play call at all.
No, I don't either. I don't like a bomb in that situation.
Unless you see, like, it's Cooks. I mean, I'm glad he's back on the field. He had a lot of concussion issues, but
boy, is
I
he
mean,
covered.
he
though.
hasn't been the same since Malcolm Jenkins laid him out. I don't like that play call at all.
No, and I'll tell you what, that coverage was really good.
That's Humphrey. I believe that's
Humphrey.
44. That's Marlon Humphrey. He's
Yeah,
one of the best
Humphrey was-
cornerbacks in the whole
Humphrey
league.
was all over him.
And now you're
Now-
third.
now you're gonna have to-
now you're 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
And you're really behind the sticks.
And now you're
I
gonna
don't
get
like
a delay
that.
a game penalty.
I think they got a timeout. They're gonna give him a
Okay.
timeout.
Okay.
All right. Downtown, Dion Brown checks in. What's up, guys? Great to see y'all. Hey, man, my take on yesterday's game today is that Groh needs to be demoted, not fired. I don't want to see anyone lose their jobs. And regardless of what players aren't on the field, Carson Wentz has to be better, much better than what he's shown over the last 2 games. Both games very, very winnable games. That's the thing that sticks in my craw about, like, you had the Patriots right there. You had the Seahawks right there. Two
Elite teams.
teams that are probably going to be playing in the divisional round of the playoffs, probably each going to win a playoff game. And you have them right there, and you can't do anything to punch it in. And I'm totally convinced that if you go up 7-0, if he hits that screen pass there on the first drive that he missed by 12 yards,
I think that changes the whole complexion.
changes
of
the
game.
whole complexion of the game.
Yeah.
Because
And then they have momentum.
and that's a nice throw.
Yeah, that's-
He looks good at times, but then at times at golf, I'm saying he looks really good
that
at
was
times.
Brandon. He went right back to Brandon Cooks again.
I mean, that's a great route and that's a great catch.
Yeah, he got both
A
feet
great
down.
toe drag.
Yep.
But I mean,
Brandon Cooks is a solid player. I mean,
that throw, that's a monster throw there by Goff. Look at how far he had to throw it.
Yep.
He threw
Right
it to
on
the
money.
opposite. He threw an out to the opposite hash mark.
Yeah, that was.
That
right
was a
on the money,
laser.
too.
That was a good throw.
Yeah, this is a big series for the Rams because they've been playing poorly defensively tonight, and they really need to get on the board now.
Dion, I totally agree with you. Wentz needs to be better. Mike Gross stinks. And then Bob Brinkman chimes in, the more Jerry Jones turns the heat, the more turns up the heat, the more Garrett will melt.
Yeah, Garrett is a terrible coach.
I think I saw something on the internet that if he gets canned, he
Yeah,
might be the Giants coach.
God forbid. They'll run Mara out of town if he does that.
They can't do that.
Yeah. Well, if they do
You
that,
got something or no?
if
No.
they do that,
Oh,
Matt,
okay.
if they
I
do
was just
that,
chiming in with the Jason
if they do
Garrett
that,
stuff.
they're
What do you
maybe-
want? Chime in.
I mean, every single time I see Jason Garrett, like his eyes get like progressively purpler and purpler. He is stressed out of his mind, and it's quite enjoyable to watch since it's the Cowboys.
Because he's just a clown up there.
He is a
He doesn't
clown.
call the plays. He has no
Yeah.
input. Kellen Moore does
Exactly.
everything on offense.
Yeah.
And I guess, who is it, Marinelli?
Yeah.
Still on their
Marinelli, yeah.
defense?
Rod Marinelli.
He's a
is
pretty
the
good
defense.
defensive
Yeah.
coordinator.
Yeah.
He just stands there and high five, claps his hands, chews his gum, and high fives everybody.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
his eyes are so
the only
purple out of
reason-
his mind. They're
the
about
only
as purple
reason-
as the Ravens
the only
uniforms
reason-
right now.
the
But
only
I'd be
reason
stressed.
is-
I'd be stressed out of my mind too.
Yeah.
Because you have an owner that's hands on.
Oh,
who
yeah.
wants to win.
Absolutely.
Who's going to let you know about it if he's not happy, and you have no control over your coaching staff.
And your and basically your cap
the plays.
as well,
and the
because
plays.
he might lose both Dak and Amari in the offseason. So
No, Jerry Jones, he's not letting Dak out.
somebody's going to go.
Might be Amari, but it's not going to be
Right.
Dak.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
I could see Amari going, but I
Yeah.
can't
You
see
can't-
Dak going anywhere.
you can't let Dak out of your building. You've had him for 5 years.
You've developed
You
him.
drafted him. You developed him. He's a franchise quarterback.
He's very
he's
good.
good at- he's
been
good
really
enough.
good. He's
Yeah.
been really good this
I don't know
year.
if he's elite.
Right.
See, franchise and elite, they're different in my mind. A franchise
Oh, yeah.
a franchise quarterback means that you go into the offseason, we got Dak, we got Carson, we got
Russell Wilson.
we got Goff. Well, Russell Wilson's elite in my mind because he can win a game all by himself. Carson Wentz used to be able to win a game all by himself. Like Dak Prescott can't win a game all by himself. Jared Goff can't win a game all by himself. Carson right now can't win a game all by himself, which makes them franchise quarterbacks. Look at Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Rodgers.
Breeze. Maybe not so much anymore.
Can Breeze win a game by himself?
Not so much anymore.
He's never really been that.
Yeah, he has been. He's such an accurate quarterback. I mean,
like Brady can win a game, but there's like 5 elite quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Lamar
Brady.
Jackson, Mahomes, Rodgers.
I would say Breeze.
Like Jimmy G's a franchise quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback.
Well, he's not yet.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
with
he's
him.
got It's I mean, Jimmy G, guys like him and Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. Right now they're franchise, but they have a chance to be elite. They have to prove it though. In the playoffs.
What was there, a penalty? How do we get a first down here?
I have no idea.
I don't know what happened. Dion Brown at A2D Radio agreed. I'd rather bring in a young up-and-coming OC from a team like maybe Kansas City Rams or even Baltimore. Grow as a stiff. We miss Frank Reich, and it shows, and even Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas is not leaving the Jets. He's the Jet general manager.
He's just saying the Eagles miss him, which is fine, which whatever. They definitely see. What happened is Frank Reich left, got a head coaching job. DeFilippo left. DeFilippo should have never been allowed to leave the building. You can't let him go to the Vikings and accept the offensive coordinator position when your offensive coordinator position is vacant. And he already has the rapport with Carson.
Yep.
So I don't know what this guy Press Taylor does, but I don't think he's doing a very good job with Carson.
No.
Just saying.
Carson has regressed.
And Doug has strengths, but Doug also has glaring weaknesses.
Yep.
I don't think Doug Peterson should be calling plays, but there's no one on staff that I trust. Like, I don't want Mike Groh calling plays. You out of your mind? I don't want Deuce calling plays either. He can barely handle the running back rotation. So Doug needs to get – and Schwartz, I mean, he's earned another year.
Yeah, he definitely –
Even though his
the past 2 weeks there, he definitely saved his job.
Even though his scheme frustrates me at times, and I still can't believe he called that all-out blitz in Atlanta in week 2 when we were at the bowling alley.
Right.
Just a mindless, idiotic defensive play call. All Matt Ryan had to do was slide the protection, dump it out to Julio, and he ran forever. Ridiculous. But, I mean, he last 2 seasons he's had the defense peaking right around this time, mid-November, early December. So he can stay. And I don't want to have all this turnover with coaches. It's just not good. It's not good for continuity and culture. But Doug needs to find, like, Skarnecki, the Patriots offensive line coach.
He's a legendary coach. Though.
35 years in the NFL. We need guys like that around Doug.
Absolutely. The thing with Skarnecki is that he takes offensive linemen and he makes them Pro Bowl level offensive linemen. Just because of he teaches a technique. They exercise it. Everybody there seems to know what they're doing, and they're just a well-oiled machine. But when they leave the Patriots and go to other teams, they're not as good.
No,
because Nate Solder on the Giants has been awful.
Yeah, he kind of stinks.
I mean, and the Jones fumble on the 3-yard line yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't even see any. I got to be honest with you, I didn't really see any highlights of the Giants game yesterday.
Totally Solder's fault. I mean, Jones is stepping into the pocket to throw the ball, and I mean he's got his arm cocked ready to throw the ball, and he just gets buried. I mean, come on, you can't
see now that name.
Hold him.
That name that Dion just brought up, Matt Nagy. If he loses his job in Chicago,
I would not be surprised. I mean,
I could see.
I don't think he should. I don't think he should lose his job in Chicago.
Right.
In Chicago, but if he does lose his job in Chicago,
he might.
He might lose his job.
That's a great name. Head coaching experience. He's from the Doug Peterson, Andy Reid tree from Kansas City. That would be great.
Yeah, both.
I don't think he should lose his job because.
And the other thing too, Nagy also incorporates more of the spread as well, which could help Carson in some way, shape, or form. It's another offense that he can learn. To the plethora of offenses that Carson already knows. So that could help. That could help a lot. And if you get the right personnel, it can definitely work.
Look, the reason I think Trubisky is hurt is because Trubisky likes to use his legs.
How about? But how
And
about?
he looks like he limps when he's running right
Yeah.
now. And if you guys happen to look at the giant bear some of the plays that Trubisky was involved in, it's just like he's not really stepping into the ball. He's slow when he's running. He was a good runner last year. I mean, listen. Is he a great quarterback? No, he's not. But he's okay. I mean, is he a franchise quarterback? No, but he's more like a game manager.
Yeah.
But he's like an Alex Smith type quarterback.
He was
You know what?
drafted the year after Carson,
Yes.
Yeah, and the Bears moved up to
so
get
this
him.
is his third year.
Third year. Yep.
Yeah,
He gets another year.
Yeah.
yeah. He's obviously playing hurt.
Nagy should get another year too.
I don't know.
I know a lot of
Yeah.
guys here at A2D. They think he stinks, and
How many
make fun of him
wins
all
do the
the
Bears
time,
have?
but-
4 wins.
no, they're 5 and 6. They're same
They're
as
5
the,
and 6. Okay. Well, 5
same
and
as
6
Eagles.
is not that. I mean, I think they're going to beat Detroit this week.
Um,
Talk about a team that's just completely gone into
probably.
the tank.
Hold on, let's take our break.
Boy.
We'll talk some Flyers. We'll talk some Sixers. We'll keep kicking around the NFL, Carson, the Eagles coaches. It'll be all here till 10 o'clock. A2D Radio, Sports Hounds. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, A2D Radio, Sports Hounds with you till 10 o'clock. As always, we'll talk to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, Dr. Paul Vidal. 3 locations. Visit specializedphysicaltherapy.com for more details. No appointment necessary. We're also brought to you by ATS Sports Picks. Use the promo code A2D. Get 20% off their services. Just clean up some of these contents where we talk some Flyers hockey. Deion Brown, guys, early 2020 draft predictions, the wideout from Baylor, last name Mims. I don't want to go to the draft yet. I mean, we're not 2-9 like the Giants. I mean,
nobody's perfect, you know.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, if you don't run a 4-3 and can run routes adequately, you're not on my draft board if I'm the Eagles. I want a total revamp of the wide receiver position.
Well, they're wide receiver. There are a lot of good wide receivers.
I will say that this year is by far the most I've probably ever watched college football.
Yeah, me too. I've actually watched a lot of college football this year.
And I think his name's Malik Jefferson. He's a slot receiver on LSU. He's pretty good.
Yes, he is.
I'd pick him.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you what.
The Eagles aren't going to be high enough to get Judy, who's just can't miss stud.
No, Judy is going to be in the top 10.
But, I mean, hopefully we can delay our draft prep.
By the way, is it fair to me to say that I think LSU and I think that Ohio State might be better than LSU?
They might be.
Ohio State is really good. They're really good this year.
Yeah, well, the new rankings tomorrow, but Oregon goes down to Coach Herm and Arizona State over the weekend. So
yeah, that was a bad loss for them.
So
that basically takes care of them.
And then Penn State got their second loss,
so they're done.
So Bama, that asshole Nick Saban, is going to sneak his ass into the playoffs and probably win the whole thing.
I don't think so. I don't think Alabama is better than Ohio State, and I don't think they're better than LSU.
Okay, but they're going to make the playoff. Unless Georgia can beat LSU, which I wouldn't put past them. Fromm needs to play better, but Georgia's defense is the best I've seen in college football.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they can at least control them somewhat, because really LSU's offense Nobody seems to be able to control that offense.
LSU's the best all-around team. Well, maybe Ohio State is.
I think Ohio State might be the best team in the country.
So if you had to pick a national champion right now, who would it be?
Boy, it's close between those two. I mean, I think LSU and Ohio State are clearly the two best teams in the country right now. Clearly, I mean, if you're gonna put a gun to my head, I guess I think I'd have to take Ohio State. I think they're that good.
Yeah, and Young's back from suspension. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that team is just they're really good on both sides.
I wouldn't
of the
be
ball.
surprised.
I think they got a better defense than
Yeah.
LSU. I think LSU's defense is a little. They're not suspect, but I mean against top teams.
Oh yeah.
They get scored on a lot by top teams, and Ohio State.
Yeah,
they'll put points on the board against anybody.
And looking at the potential
Yeah, but
playoff bracket.
LSU would score against Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It'll make a very entertaining matchup. I think.
If you have a
as
top-
of right now, those two are probably going to meet in the title
Any of
game.
these top offenses, they're putting up 30. I don't care how good the defense is. That's a nice goal right there.
That was a bad.
That is
that's
nice.
a bad goal. That's a shot that.
Does that
goalie
score a
should have
check?
stopped.
Yep.
That's a shot that has to be stopped. You
Fifth
can't-
goal of the year. Flyers take a 2-1 lead.
That's
That's a perfect
on
segue
a short-
right there. 2-1.
A short side.
Yeah, it's not
he beats
a
him on
great
the
goal.
short goal. That's a soft goal. The goalie has to stop that. I'm sorry from that
What's
angle.
he doing? He's got to hug the post.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he got beat that side.
Oh, okay. It hit the post and went in, but still, you can't get beat on that angle. You just can't.
Well, we got 8 minutes left. They're up 2-1. Vancouver's a pretty good team, Brad. This would be a good win at home.
Oh, it's a quality win if you beat Vancouver. Vancouver is a good team.
They
this year.
really let one slip away
Oh, yeah.
Saturday afternoon against.
The game against the Flames was a bad loss.
They scored with 2.5 to go. They let up the game-tying goal, and they lose in a shootout. The only positive is they get the Bettman point,
Right.
which is the most ridiculous rule in all of sports.
Well, that's Bettman. If you're
Yep.
going to make overtime,
Who
and
else but
shootouts,
Bettman?
You're going to make overtime and shootouts. Why do you get a point for losing?
Why do you have to? Why can't we go back to the 90s when you could just tie? And it's a tie.
Well, because they don't want because the fans they don't think the fans want to go home with a tie. That's why. And the Rangers now are tied 1-1 with the Wild in
I
the third
get you.
period.
But like smart hockey fans would accept a tie, don't you think? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If you can get a point on the road in a tough building and get a tie, that's what you want.
But I don't like the point. I don't like the point.
I don't mind
think
the
the
tie.
point.
Why do we have these points in hockey?
Well,
These
it
points.
used to
doesn't
be.
make any
it
sense.
used to be when there was a tie, both teams got a point.
Yeah.
But now you have 3
That's
point
fair.
games.
That's fair. No.
Well, that's how it used to be.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I don't understand why they changed that rule. I just think if
But
you're
why can't it just be like the NFL? We just went through 12 tiebreakers in the second half. And before, why can't it just be like that? You win, you lose.
Yeah, I mean,
Then there's a tiebreaker. You're the record against the Metropolitan Division. Then
you go into Washington, okay, and you can get a tie. You can get a tie at the end of the game at a regulation.
Yeah,
that's
good.
That's a quality. That's a quality point. That's how it used to be. But now, no, you have to play 3-on-3 overtime. Which
Well, I like the 3-on-3.
I like 3-on-3 too. But the shootout, I hate shootouts. I think it's the dumbest rule I've ever seen. To me, a shootout is like it would be like if you go into a baseball and you have home run derby in the 10th inning because you don't want to waste any.
It's
of your
a perfect.
pitchers.
It's a perfect comparison, really.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Or the NBA, instead of going overtime, let's just do a 3-point shooting contest, and whoever makes more 3-pointers in 30 seconds wins.
Yeah, it's just outlines.
I mean, come on, a skill competition to win a game. No other sport does such stupidity. Well, soccer does, but I understand why they do it in soccer because soccer. Let's be honest, they'd be playing all day and all night sometimes because some of those teams are so good defensively. The top teams. They just put a blanket in front of the net, you'll never score. So I get that. But the NHL, if they play 3-on-3, let them play 10 minutes 3-on-3, and if nobody wins, then the game, that's
it's
it. The
5
game's
minutes
over.
right now, right?
Play 10 minutes.
Even 7. I mean, that's tiring, don't you think? Play 10 minutes 3-on-3.
But the game will be over. No, there's no way the game's going to last.
I'm surprised more teams don't score 3-on-3. I'm surprised this many games go to a shootout. With all that open ice, with how skilled these guys are.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of these teams, it used to be when the shootout first came along, not the shootout, I'm sorry, when 3-on-3 first came in, okay, everybody used to score. But a lot of these teams now have learned how to play defense on 3-on-3.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Do you think some teams play for a shootout because they're good at shootouts?
Yes, I do.
So they'll play.
But it's hard to do that on 3-on-3 because it's very just there's so much room, and the guys who are gifted, the gifted, talented players, you can't expect to hold them down 3-on-3 all the time. Like when if the Penguins got you 3-on-3 in their heyday,
You're screwed.
okay, yeah, you got to play. You got Crosby, Malkin, and Letang
Yeah.
out there.
And then you got Kessel coming in when they get tired, and they just get guys all over the place.
Right.
All right, looking at these Eastern Conference standings, Flyers previously third in the Metropolitan Division last time we talked hockey. They've dropped to the second wild card. They are 1 point behind the Penguins for the first wild card.
Penguins
the
are struggling,
Carolina-
and they're going to be without Sidney Crosby for quite a while.
Yep, because he did what Deshaun Jackson should have done. He got the sports hernia surgery right away, and he's going to be back in 6 weeks.
Right.
Totally the right decision.
Oh, it's the right decision, but
You have Carolina's won 2 in a row. They're 15-8-1. They have 31 points. They sit third, so they are
Carolina's a good team.
They're 4 points ahead of the Flyers, and then it seems like the Islanders and the Capitals are.
The Islanders have just been phenomenal this year. Best defensive team in the league. Yeah, they find a way to get a point.
Yeah, I mean they're still on. Remember last time we talked hockey, they just won 10 in a row.
Well, you know what? The Islanders right now have a point in 17 consecutive games.
Barry Trotz, man.
Yeah,
they play defense.
Yep, defense first.
I thought they were sunk when they because it was 2 straight off seasons they let their captain walk.
Well, this year they didn't. They kept Sean Lee.
But was before
that they let John Tavares go.
And that's
I thought that when they let John Tavares, when John Tavares walked, I thought that was the end of them.
And speaking of John Tavares, he went to the Maple Leafs. Mike Babcock is out in Toronto.
Yeah, he's fired, but you know what? He'll be picked up very soon. He's too
they're-
good. He's
Are
too
they?
good.
Are they just? What's wrong with them?
Who, the
Toronto.
Leafs?
They were one of the favorites coming into the season. No.
This year they're not playing any defense.
Well, they outscored everyone last year. That's why they didn't win in the playoffs.
Well, it's not a good.
And Marner's hurt. Correct.
Yeah, it's not a good formula to.
No,
win
that's
a
why the
Stanley Cup.
Flames didn't win a playoff series last year.
Well, the Flames got killed, but I mean the problem with that team really is that they have all these gifted offensive players. They don't have that one defenseman that's like Elmer's glue that just they can stand tall, and you can put him out there against or a defensive pairing that you can put out against the other team's best players and shut them down. That's the problem with them. They've never been able to do that. But I think the bigger problem with Toronto is the fact that Lou Lamoriello left and went to the Islanders. I think that because Lou Lamoriello was the architect of that team.
Yeah.
And he built that team. Now then he goes to the Islanders, and
now
Lou
the Islanders
Lou Lamoriello goes and takes the Islanders without Tavares. Okay, he lets Tavares walk, and he's able to build this team and still makes them a contender. Then you let Robin Leonard, who won the Vezina, did he win the Vezina or almost win the Vezina last year? I can't remember, but he was a Vezina. I know he was.
He's a finalist.
He was a finalist for the Vezina Trophy. He let him walk and brings in this guy Varlamov, and Varlamov's been outstanding. He's been outstanding. Yeah, they haven't missed a beat. I mean, letting a goalie go who almost won the Vezina, that's a ballsy move to do that.
So you have 3 teams in Washington, New York, and Boston.
Yeah,
all with less than 5 losses.
Yeah, they're all real good.
37, 34, 35 points respectively. Who's the best of that bunch?
Right now, I still think Washington is until I'm proven wrong.
Right, because you picked.
I picked Washington this year. I finally got off the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you
the
used to.
Tampa Bay Express because
Was that
I've been on
5
Tampa
years
Bay
in a row.
Yes,
picked
because I
Tampa?
just kept. I was very stubborn about them. I mean, they got a lot of talent, Tampa Bay, but you know what? They're like the Sharks.
Not
They
playing.
can't.
They're not playing. They only have 24 points. They're 11-7. They're 5th in the wild card.
They'll get going though. You know they will.
And Florida impressed.
Florida, you better watch out with Florida. You know they went and they brought in.
They have Quinville. They have Bobrovsky. They have
Well,
Markov. They have
bringing in
they have some guys.
bringing in Bobrovsky was huge for them because they've really struggled in goal the last couple of years, and bringing him in is really huge, and that team has some incredibly big time talent. I mean, between Barkov and who's some of the other guys that they have, I'd have to look at their roster, but they have some real nice players. They really do. Yeah, and they're big, they're fast.
And then Montreal. I mean, I'm not.
Well, Montreal has Carey Price, and now the Wild have just gone ahead of the Rangers 2-1 with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Ryan Donato puts them out in front. The Florida. Let me just take a look at their roster because I can't remember it off the top of my head. The Florida Panthers.
Flyers got to close this game out. You got 3 minutes to go. You're up a goal.
Oh, they
at
need
home.
They need to win. The
Carter
Panthers,
Hart's got to stand tall here.
The Panthers have guys like Jonathan Huberdeau, Matheson, Dadonov.
Do you think they're better?
Vinny Trocheck.
How
is
much
a
better are
tremendous
they than
player.
the Flyers?
Ekblad.
How much better are they than the Flyers? Or are they not better than the Flyers?
I think that they are a little bit better than the Flyers right now.
So the
Panthers.
Flyers are the
Flyers are going to be 7 or 8 if they're lucky, if they make the playoffs.
So they're the 7th or 8th best team. So you think they're a wild card team? You don't think they're a top 3 metropolitan team?
No. The Capitals and Islanders are by far.
So you don't think they're better?
Top
You don't
two.
think they're better?
They're
than
not
Carolina?
better than no.
It's another rip by Voracek.
No, I don't think they're better than Carolina
No, it wasn't
either.
Voracek. I don't even know. Is that Frost 23? I don't know. I gotta learn the numbers.
But yeah, that's. I mean, I think the Flyers are going to come in 7th or 8th. I think that's what
you
I
think they're
that's
gonna make the
what they're
playoffs.
Yeah, I do. I think at this point in their development, there's no excuse anymore not to make the playoffs. You got a coach who always seems to get his teams to the playoffs. The only thing with the Flyers now, they've got 8 guys that are over 30 now.
Yeah.
That's 40%. Yeah, and I said this a couple of years ago when we were over at WNJC about the Flyers. The problem with the Flyers is they've got a lot of guys that are now who were back then. Remember, I was saying that they have 28-year-olds and 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they got guys that are in their 30s and they got guys in their young
24.
20s. The problem is they're starting to get these older guys are starting to get older. Guys like Giroux.
Well, Giroux's money.
I know, but Giroux and Voracek, they're getting old, Rob. And Van Riemsdyk is no kid. Niskanen is old. They've got a lot. They've got a lot of guys who are not young players anymore.
What are we supposed to do on November 20th? The season's already started. We're trying to make the playoffs. Trying to win a cup. We have who we have.
What I'm saying is, for the Flyers, this is when they have to try to win the cup. I think that their window is open now. They've got to try to start. They've got to try to start getting to the cup. Carter Hart got his feet wet last year. He's got to go out there and he's got to make it happen. Okay,
they got very up and down. Yeah, I like him.
Sean Couturier is an outstanding player. He's got to score. He's got to score a lot. Konechny has to score a lot.
Oscar Lindblom is really good.
I think Giroux and Voracek.
Morgan Frost is a stud. This line that they tried out there with Giroux and Konechny and Frost.
Giroux and
such
Voracek.
a great line.
I think Giroux and Voracek. You've got to be careful how much ice time you give them. You don't want to wear him out for the playoffs. Alain Vigneault is smart like that. I know when Alain Vigneault coached the Rangers, he always wanted to go with 4 lines. He never used to overplay.
He does play
his
4
top
lines.
Players. Oh, that's his shtick. So you have to have 4 lines with him. But I think the Flyers, if they're good, I'm not saying that I don't think they can win the Stanley Cup. I just don't think they're good enough. But they have to start making it happen now because you got your young players have now been in the league long enough that they should start being a factor.
Because once Giroux leaves, there's going to be a leadership and production
right
gap.
That's
a big gap to fill.
That's what I'm
I agree
saying.
with you.
That's
a good point.
That's the issue because you get guys like Giroux, Voracek, Van Riemsdyk, they're all older. These are all older players. These are not kids anymore.
Okay, the Canucks have pulled the goalie. Extra attackers on. Flyers do have possession. I want to ask you about the Calgary Flames because they're underachieving by Calgary standards.
I don't understand what's going on with them. I
and
mean, I haven't watched a
the
lot
fan
of them,
base and the media in Calgary seems to be in stage 5 panic mode.
Well, they should.
I've seen multiple reports that Johnny Gaudreau is available for trade. Do you think that's true?
No.
What would it take to get him in Philadelphia? Because I want to get Gaudreau at all costs, and I want to put him next to Giroux.
First of all,
I think Gaudreau would score 50 goals next to Giroux.
He might. I mean, the thing is, though, you're asking Cal. He's the face of the franchise. I mean, you're asking them to just let him go. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, I'm just reading rumors on the internet.
Yeah, but you know what? That's that. I
like,
don't
would
believe...
Voracek and Gossosphere get me Gaudreau? I think I would do that trade.
No, I don't think Atlanta. I don't think that the Flames
Civil War
would take. I don't think the Flames would want Voracek's contract. I mean, I think that. I mean, if they're to trade Giroux, they're going to want
Gaudreau. You mean?
It's Gaudreau, yeah. If they're going to play Johnny Hockey, they're going to have to get a guy of his like a lot like him. I mean, if I'm the Flames.
Oh no, he didn't.
I wouldn't trade him. I just
Way to
wouldn't.
stand tall, Carter. Way to stand tall.
You've got 17 seconds to go.
We got a offensive zone draw for the Canucks. Like to see him win this draw, clear the puck, and get these 2 points. That's a great save.
Yeah, it is a great. He had a really good look. He had
Doesn't
a
really
real
get
good look.
Doesn't really get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean the Canucks player had a good look on that.
So
look at where he's getting the shot from.
yeah, he's
Carter
right on
Hart
the
comes
doorstep.
out. Yeah, Carter Hart comes out, cuts down the angle, and gives him nothing to shoot
So
at.
if you're GM of the Flyers, Brad, what are you adding to this team?
The Flyers?
Yeah.
Well, I know
Sniper?
I think they want to get another
sniper?
scorer. Yeah, they do need a sniper without a doubt.
Who do you see that could potentially be out there that fits that?
I mean, are we talking about rentals or guys that you can keep for a while?
I don't care. I'm like you said, I want to win the cup now.
Well, Gaudreau would be a guy to try to get. I just don't think that Calgary's going to trade him.
I don't see how they would trade him too, but everyone's freaking out there in Calgary.
Well, they think maybe they might, but I don't think that's going to happen. I
want to hit him up and get him in orange and black before they wise up. I think they're a little on tilt right now as a franchise and a fan base.
If they're gonna trade Johnny Gaudreau, they're not gonna do it until the trade deadline. It's not gonna happen now. They're not gonna give up on their season.
Nice 2 points right
And
there.
The
It's a nice home win.
Get a big home win against a quality opponent.
I'm not digging Carter Hart's helmet right there. I don't like the helmet.
Hey, if he wins with it, wearing it, then don't touch anything. I'm one of those guys. Yes, I'm very superstitious about stupidity like that. So if you're asking me, don't change anything. Just
all right,
leave.
then we're gonna switch the station here in the Real Talk Studios, and we got the 10-9-8 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors, a playoff rematch. New look really for each team here. We got Sixers up 1, 87-86. And boy, they really put it on the Heat on Saturday night.
Yes, they did.
Was that Siakam? No, it's too small to be Siakam. I don't know who that was, but that wasn't good defense. I don't like it. Let's see what Ben. I didn't get any alerts on my phone, so I guess Ben didn't make any 3-pointers tonight. That's Korkmaz. This team's really good.
Let's see. So I'm going to give out the scores right now. The NHL scores.
Go for it.
The Blue Jackets after two. I'm sorry. The Blue Jackets have defeated the Senators 1-0. Lightning 5, Sabres 2. Wild with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the third period lead the Rangers 2-1. Penguins and Flames tied at 2 with 1:50 to go in the third. The Flyers with that big win over the Canucks. Predators over the Blues 2-1 in the second period, and the Stars are leading the Golden Knights 2-0, and second period just underway. And later, you got the Ducks and the Islanders in Anaheim, and the Sharks visit the Kings. I think at this point, as I said, the Flyers do need to make a move. I don't know. I mean, it's a little early right now to be talking about trying to get franchise-altering players. It really is. I mean, right now nobody really considers themselves out of it. I'll tell you a player that the Flyers should have their eyes on that's going to be available, who is a premium top player, is Taylor Hall on the Devils.
You really think they would trade with us? I mean, we're pretty big rivals.
Yeah, but the Devils are in last place. They're probably not going to go anywhere this year. Okay, Taylor Hall.
There's a lot of hope for that team this year as well.
Yeah, but they're not. They don't have goaltending. Good. They got to get goaltending. The Devils. They're not going to win with the goaltending they have. Taylor Hall has already said he's not going to re-sign with them.
Well, and you got to trade him.
Exactly, and that's the kind of guy.
And
if you remember,
you got to love him saying that because that kills their leverage.
Well, I mean, they could trade him to anybody. So there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested in him. Chris Kreider on the Rangers. He's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, but you're always talking about how much he blows. Why do I want
Kreider?
him for?
Because when Kreider is,
and you're always telling me how Alain Vigneault hates him.
He does hate him. But the reason he hates him is because
he's our coach. How's that going to work?
Yeah, but Chris Kreider is an ultra talented player. He's an enigma because he's one of these guys that scores between 25 and 30 goals every year, but he has the talent to score 35 to 40 goals every year.
All right.
He's got great speed. He's fat. He's strong as hell. He's one of these guys. He's got a lot of ability, and you just don't understand why he doesn't score 40 to 50 goals. Because, I mean, nobody can skate with him. He's got a tremendous shot.
It's 28-6 Ravens, by the way.
Oh, that I'm a little surprised at, but I had a feeling the Ravens are just great right now. They're the best team in the NFL. Anybody that thinks otherwise hasn't watched enough of the Ravens. And the Sixers have a slim 2-point lead.
Sixers
with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go.
They hit a little lull in the middle beginning part of the year, I guess you should say. But
it's a long season.
I'll tell you what's really impressed me about this basketball team is Ben Simmons' development as a half-court defender. If the season ended today, which I know it doesn't, Ben Simmons would be a first-team All-NBA defensive selection.
That's pretty impressive. That's impressive.
He clowned Jimmy Butler on Saturday night. Jimmy was 4-13. I think he had 11 points. He really engaged like any other season. Unlike any other season, he's been tremendously engaged on the defensive end of the floor. You see right there, he's matched up against Siakam. You can cover a guy like Siakam, who's a versatile big guy. He can cover just a dog on the perimeter, a go-getter like Jimmy Butler. And he's also athletic enough to cover, a point guard like Damian Lillard. His development as a defensive presence has been
that was a big basket,
really something to watch. And I couldn't ask for anything more from Al Horford. He's been absolutely terrific.
Well, when the Sixers get in trouble,
It
always seems that they get in trouble because they're not scoring enough.
Correct.
There's
a nice play by Tobias on the defensive end.
And we've
team
we've
scores a
talked
lot.
about
It's still a great defense.
Yes.
I think everyone's overreacting about the shooting and the offense because they don't need to score as many points as they scored last year because they're
too
so
early.
much better at defense.
It's too early to be worrying about that right now. It's not even not even Thanksgiving yet. You can't sit there and start complaining about stuff.
Well, this is
in
what
the
we do.
NBA.
We complain, we bitch, we moan. Like we
But it's too early in the season.
Passionate fans.
I know, but it's too early in the season to get yourself.
It's
nuts
never
about
too
this
early
stuff.
in the season.
Your team's going to be in the playoffs this year. I said it before. I'm going to say it
Well,
again.
if they don't go to the finals this
It is
year,
not-
they never will.
it
and
is
the
not
season's
about-
a huge failure.
It's not about the regular season with this team. It's about the playoffs. Okay?
Yeah, but they need to win as many games as they can because they're not very good on the road
Yet.
yet. Good point. Yes.
Okay? As I said before, it's a long season. How do you know that in February and March they don't pick it up and start winning a lot of games on the road?
And I think the Ben Simmons detractors and the Ben Simmons haters, look, if you want Ben Simmons to be just a sniper like Curry or Dame
Look,
Lillard,
he's not going to be Oscar Robertson, okay? Get over it. He's not going to be that kind of player.
like
but you know
he
what?
was
But he can be Ben Simmons.
He was
and Ben
overhyped.
Simmons is a pretty good player.
he's overhyped by the media coming into the league as a 16-year-old, and people have a mental block when it comes to the point guard in today's game that you have to be a sniper like Curry or Lillard. No, you don't. You can be Ben Simmons. You can be an elite defender. You can be an elite passer. You can be 6'10" and move like a guard and do a heck of a lot to help your basketball team win. Where the Sixers get in trouble is sometimes they lack leadership offensively on the perimeter, which needs to be Tobias Harris's job because he's making $180 million. Sometimes he disappears, but that's what he is. And I can't really sit here and bitch and moan at Tobias Harris's contract because you're a much better basketball team with Tobias Harris than if you skip out.
I was just going to say, if you let him go,
You're not as good.
Yeah, and
so
you're
you
not-
just pay him.
and you can't. And
What
you
are you
can't
gonna do?
replace him. Yeah, you don't really worry about.
And
the
then
money at
Elton
this
Brand
point.
did a tremendous job getting. Look, Josh Richardson. He has his moments where he looks like an all-star, but he also needs to shoulder that burden as a go-to guy on the perimeter. He needs to step up in that fashion because where this team misses Jimmy Butler is the intensity he brings at the end of the game. Like if you need two at the end of the game, like you give the Jimmy on the wing and he goes and makes something happen.
Well, I mean, but Tobias.
That's what this team
Tobias
needs
can
more
do that
consistently.
Tobias can do that, and so can Embiid.
I don't like relying on my 7-foot center to be my go-to guy from the perimeter in crunch time. I just don't like it.
He's a good shooter, though.
I get it. But a lot of times at the end of these games, he's a little winded. He's a little tired. Like, that's a great game from Tobias right there. 18 points, 7 of 15. He went through a little bit of shooting stuff for a couple games. And there's Siakam. Got to board that. There's another board by Tobias.
Yeah,
They're up
Toronto-
94-88
Toronto is
on the
not
road
getting-
in Toronto. And Toronto's actually playing good basketball, which is surprising me. I thought they were going to be really bad.
I thought they'd
because
fall off after losing
Kawhi Leonard and also a point guard Kyle Lowry, he broke his hand. So he's not in the lineup either.
That's
and
a
they're
lot.
still-
That's
they
a lot
still
they're
have-
missing.
They have the same record as the Sixers.
Well, the
Do I think
Sixers
that's-
also, but the Sixers also went through a real tough road trip. I mean, let's be honest, okay?
They did.
That was, but they're going to have to do that same road trip too.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
I get it.
that kind of a road trip. How many games are most teams going to win on that kind of a road trip?
No, you're right.
You're lucky if you go 500 on. A
I
road
just
trip
don't like
that.
I don't like being up 19 with 9 minutes to go and losing a basketball game. I think that's ridiculous. That's what they did against the Denver Nuggets on that road trip.
Yeah, but the Nuggets are a really good team.
I
though,
get it.
and they're really good at home.
I get it.
And
get it.
And you also didn't. I mean, didn't you play like 2 games?
Yeah, you
in
beat
3
Portland.
days
you
or
lost
something like
you
that.
lost to Phoenix, who's
That was a long, grueling
Phoenix
road
is
trip.
good.
Yeah, they've really improved. That guy
Phoenix-
Booker, is that his name?
Yeah, Devin Booker from
he's
Kentucky.
a phenomenal player.
He's great. Their first overall pick, DeAndre Ayton, he's still suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. Aaron Baines came over from Boston.
He's on
He's
Phoenix
been
now.
great.
Wow.
Ricky Rubio has been great. Kelly Oubre is a good player.
Speaking of a team that's playing great basketball this year, the Boston Celtics have been playing real well.
Yeah. They're very good.
Kemba has really.
I know, he took a nasty collision the other night.
Yeah, but I'll tell you
Went
what.
off in a stretcher.
He's gone to that team, and he has really made a.
Well, Tatum, they needed someone to step up. Well,
see, everybody knew Kemba was gonna. Everybody knew Kemba was
Kemba's
gonna
a
be
great
big player.
player.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And
Kyrie didn't mix well there for whatever reason, and Jason Tatum took another step forward, continues to progress.
And the New York Rangers tie it up, and go into overtime, 2-2. How about that?
Who scored?
Let me check.
Here's another joke. You get these challenges in the NBA where you can challenge a foul.
The guy that I just talked about,
Who?
Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider.
Do you think the Rangers would really make a trade with the Flyers, though?
If they got a first round pick for him, for Kreider, they probably do that.
Is that fair?
Well, if they trade Kreider, they're going to get a first round pick.
Okay.
They're going to get a first round pick.
Oh, I
mean, look, you have to look at when the Rangers traded Hayes last year, okay, to Winnipeg, they got Brendan Lemieux and a first round pick,
Yeah.
okay, for Kevin Hayes.
Look, I've never heard of this.
Well, Brendan Lemieux has been outstanding for the Rangers this year. He's a tough
Big
guy.
shot.
He's a tough guy who can actually play.
That's great basketball right there. He comes off the screen.
That was pretty. That was pretty.
Has a nice mid-range jumper. Look, if Josh Richardson plays like that, then this team's
Toronto
unbeatable.
Toronto is chucking right now, so the Sixers can basically almost put this one
Ben
away if
run
they
the
can
offense,
get a three.
get to the rack. I'd like to see him attack that better, but whatever. You have Richardson, another mid-ranger.
Way off.
That was deep. That was a tough shot. That guy was coming in.
Yeah, no, he forced it because they were
see,
running
look,
out
now
of
you
time.
have Ben. Look at him lock up Siakam right here.
Well,
That's
now
a
he's
great
getting
double. That's a great double.
Here's a three.
I mean,
what are you gonna do? Listen, Toronto made a nice play there. They moved the ball
he's a
around.
pain
and
in
hit
the ass. That guy, Van Fleet.
Van Vliet is a real good player. he's a real good player. He's quick. I'll tell you, he really is. Now here's Embiid with three, and he actually missed a three.
See, I hate that shot.
Oh. Is that a foul? Is Simmons okay?
See, but that's such a lazy possession right there.
Yeah, but Simmons.
That's such a lazy possession. Like, why is he in the corner? Like,
who got the foul on that one?
it looks like someone's in the bonus. Basketball is the worst to watch without sound.
Yeah,
Is that his game stats?
Joel Embiid.
What? 0 points, 0 for 10, 0 4 for 3?
No, it's in the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay.
Rob, it's
better.
Down.
I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say no. That's just the fourth quarter
That's impossible for him to do that.
for a whole game.
Yeah.
No. It said in the fourth quarter. He's obviously kind of disappeared in the fourth quarter, but the rest of the team has been tremendous.
Well, I mean, Richardson has 32 and Tobias has 25.
All right, so they're so well balanced.
This is why I get mad at people who hate on Ben when you put up 125 against the Heat, and Richardson has a good game, Tobias has a good game, and Joe has a good game.
And
there's only one basketball.
Anthony D'Angelo has won it for the Rangers.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Brad.
That was a big win. I'll tell you, when you're down late in the third period and you're able to come back, I mean, that's 2 games in a row now that they've been down in the third period and came back. I mean, that's a good sign.
Roska needs his Ducks to make a trade.
The Ducks have underachieved once again this year.
My Ducks are
they're playing
the Islanders.
They're going to get smoked. I hate to say it, but
that's a charge.
Yeah, I think the Ducks are going to get smoked.
I mean, come on, guys. Let's not let this one get away here. That's 2 not good possessions. That's a bad shot in the corner by Joe, and that's a bad offensive foul. He's totally out of control. I think Joe doesn't have it tonight. He's got to get it to Richardson or Tobias on the perimeter. Ben needs to attack.
By the way, the Penguins beat the Flames in overtime. It seems like our division, everybody's winning in overtime tonight, or they're winning slim wins. Listen, our division.
Set
the
a
Metro is
screen.
still
Set
good.
a screen. There you go. Ugh. Joe, what's he doing tonight? Oh, that's a nice block by Al Horford there.
Yeah, the Rangers
Oh,
tied.
come on.
Rob, the Rangers
All
tied
right,
this
we
game.
get
with-
timeout.
The Rangers tied this game with 3 minutes to go.
Awesome.
So that's a big win. Panarin got 3 more points. I'll tell you what, he is one heck of a player.
We used to do a show with a guy who said he stunk.
But he doesn't know anything about hockey.
He doesn't know anything
He
about
also says
anything.
Kevin Hayes is great and worth
He's
$7
okay.
billion. And when everybody every writer in the NHL said that
I
the
like what
Flyers
Hayes brings to
overpaid.
the table, though. He goes on the boards, he fights. Like,
Oh yeah, no, he's a gritty player, and you know what?
he's clearly overpaid.
If you notice though, at the end of the game, he was out there. He was out there at the end of the game when they were trying to hold the lead.
Yeah, defense.
He's a tremendous defensive player too. I mean, he's a good all-around player. You know what I'm saying? He's good in his own end and he's good in the other end. But then you have games where he just takes the night off, and he does that a lot. That's why I'm really surprised Vigneault wanted him. But you know when you see Hayes when he's really out there and he's engaged,
Well, Jim Jackson sang his praises. He said him and Vigneault
buried the hatchet.
Yeah, they get along great.
Yeah.
So that's fake news.
Well, it's not fake news. I watched Kevin Hayes
Well,
play with
it's
Vigneault.
news of the past.
Yes. Well, when he was with the Rangers, he had games where he took the night off.
I want to talk some baseball because I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued by this hot stove and what potentially could happen.
Yankees made a trade today.
Did they?
Yeah.
What did they do?
They sent Nestor Cortez Jr. to Seattle
That's
for
not a trade. Come on.
for money.
Well, I did see they DFA'd
They
Greg
DFA'd
Bird,
Yep.
and they DFA'd some
Ellsbury.
Ellsbury. Do you think they're going to win that grievance with the $26 million? Do you think they're going to have to pay him or no?
They'll have to pay him. It may take a settlement though, because you know what? Ellsbury never went to their doctors for rehab. He went to his
what
own
was the deal with it? What he just didn't? He just
He
took the
blew
money
off-
and rang.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He just blew off his rehab and took the money.
So he got hurt and just
never tried to get back into shape.
tried to get back and wanted
Just
to get
took the
a
money.
check.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why and you know the Yankees.
I thought that was a bad contract when I
I didn't like it. I said it when it happened that I thought that Scott Boras fleeced the Yankees with
Big
Jacoby
time.
Ellsbury. I didn't like that move right from the start because that was way too much money for him.
153. I mean, he was an okay leadoff hitter. He was really fast.
Yeah.
He always struck me as getting banged up and nicked up, which is what happened with the Yankees.
Yeah, but
Like-
he didn't just get banged up and nicked up. He hasn't played in 2 seasons.
Yeah, really good defender.
No
You think he's
arm.
done? You think he can play somewhere? Or?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't played in 2 years. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if I think he's.
You know where I bet you- know where I bet you-
Tulowitzki. I think he's another Troy Tulowitzki. To be
I
honest
bet
with
you like the Royals or someone take a chance on him.
I don't think so, but I do think that the Royals would take a chance on Greg Bird.
Well, this is what the Royals do. The small market, the Rays.
I can see.
Who else
forget-
is small
forget-
market?
forget
The Marlins.
Ellsbury.
Marlins be a good one.
Would Derek Jeter go after Greg? Don't the Marlins have a pretty?
I'm
good
talking about
first baseman?
Ellsbury.
Oh, Ellsbury.
Like he seems to fit the Royals scheme.
I'll tell you who I think he's going to end up with, the Giants. Because the Giants just love players like that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Or Oakland. I mean, they're another one that loves to get players like that are old. And
Yeah, but
seen
Oakland has Lorano, who's a stud.
They have Laureano, and who else is in their outfield? They don't have a great outfield. They've got a great infield though.
Yeah, they have a bunch of they platoon a lot in the outfield.
Yeah,
I feel like
they do.
got
But that's what I'm saying. I think
Canha.
Ellsbury.
They have.
Yeah, but Ellsbury's a left-handed bat. They don't really have any left-handed bats in the outfield.
And then
They're
are the
all
Yankees?
right-handed.
Are the Yankees? Are they going to spend up for Cole?
From what I understand, they are desperately trying to get rid of J Happ. So they're willing
They
to
want to
give
clear
up
more money.
Yeah, they're willing to give up one of their top prospects.
I'll take him to the Phillies.
Yeah, they're willing to give up one of their top prospects if you take J Happ's contract.
I would do that if I was the Phillies in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to give you.
What's Happ make
14 mil
for how many more years?
just this year, and next year he has a vesting option for 17
What's
mil.
a vesting option mean?
That means that he has to start 27 games this year, and then his option kicks in for the following year. And you know what though? If he starts 27 games, then you're happy because that means he's been good.
Right.
You know, if he doesn't start 27,
Plus, I can get a prospect off of you. You're saying?
Yes. You're not going to get Deivi Garcia.
No, I don't expect
And you're
that.
not. You're definitely not going to get Jason Dominguez, obviously, because the Yankees.
I watched a video online of him taking batting practice. It sounded like an explosion off the bat.
Yeah, they're saying that he's going to be.
I'll have to try and try and find it and send you it.
Yeah, they're saying that he's going to be the.
If I'm the
big
Phillies,
stud of the team.
I'm all over that. Give me Hat back.
Well, again, they would give you Hat back. They'd even give you a minor leaguer, just one of their top. I do not believe that they would give you Garcia or, as I said, or Dominguez.
Yeah, but you got to think that
They might give you Florial though, because you know what? If they can get rid of him, then they can go and they can bring in Happ.
He's the outfielder, right?
Yes. He's like their number 4 prospect now. But believe it or not, Dominguez, they think so highly of Dominguez right now.
Ben for 3.
He's already considered their top prospect. And he's also rated
What a bunch of bullshit
they
that
lost
was.
that game? Boy.
That was awful execution down the stretch.
Yeah.
That
And
was
that
terrible.
dunk even necessary?
It was on my fantasy team, so that's good.
But still,
You talking about? I just got a
Game's
nice
over.
boost in field goal percentage and then 2 extra points. It could be the difference,
Yeah,
Frank.
that
with
was
like a second left.
That
Come
was
on.
unnecessary. That's you know what most teams who have
I would
a
have knocked
little,
him out.
Frank, most teams who have class just dribble it out.
Yeah, he could have dribbled it out.
That's
There,
what he should have
yeah.
done. That would have been the class way to handle it.
I wonder if that fucked up the spread.
Probably did with the or like one of them bad beats or something.
But, I mean, obviously we're half watching here in the studio, but it looked like awful execution down the stretch there. Joe Jack that bad 3 in the corner. Tobias with some iffy shot selections. The
Tough
team can't
loss.
win they can't
Tough
win
loss.
they can't win on the road. They can't win on the road. It's very frustrating.
Still early in the season, though. As I said, it's about the playoffs with this team.
Yeah, I need to see a road win every once in a while. But getting back to baseball,
Yes.
what
do you think the Phillies are going to do? I keep hearing they're hot on Didi Gregorius.
I've heard that too, and I like Didi Gregorius.
Well, I like Didi Gregorius too, and I hate the fact that the Yankees aren't going to re-sign him. But I get why. I mean, he's going to want between 15 and 20 million. They can move Glaber to
I think
to
there's
short,
gonna
and they
be-
can have DJ at second base, and they're going to go with Voit and Ford at first base, and it makes sense. I mean, I get it.
I don't think the Phillies are going to be in on these big time free agents.
They got to try to get a pitcher though.
I think the Phillies are going to make a trade.
They could do that. But I'll tell you what. I've also heard that the Phillies might be in on Bumgarner if the price is right. Because they're saying that what they're saying about Bumgarner as far as
I'd rather spend a little extra and get Wheeler.
well, they're saying Bumgarner can be had
You think the
3
Yankees?
3 years for $50 million.
Well, I would do that.
So yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And I mean,
Well, do you think the Yankees are going to sign Wheeler?
no. Wheeler is going to be really expensive. I mean, that's the problem. Everybody seems to want to
What do you
really,
mean
really
expensive?
I mean, I'm talking close to $100 million. I don't think.
What do you think? That's not too expensive.
For him?
That's about right.
I wouldn't spend $100 million.
But what do you
on
think
Wheeler.
Cole's going to get?
Cole's going to get around 250.
Okay. What do you think Strasburg's going to get?
Probably about 2, maybe 220.
I mean, Wheeler is more than half the pitcher
Wheeler-
that Strasburg
Wheeler,
is. I mean, I'm looking at $100 million. I'm looking at 5 years, $100 million for Zach Wheeler. I think that's an incredible value.
I think 6 years, $90 million is more like it with him.
I mean, it's the same.
It's 15, but it's $15 million a year, not.
It's not
20.
15, 16, 17, $7 million.
Yeah, but
What's
that
the
extra
difference?
the $5 million can
Not
be.
for the Phillies.
So I don't know.
All
what
I
the-
hear, we got all this stupid money. You're going to skip out on $7 million, $10 million for Zach Wheeler when you need him, and he's perfect for our ballpark because he pitches. He's a ground ball pitcher,
He also gets a lot of strikeouts because he throws so darn hard.
and he's what, 28?
Something like that. I mean,
And he's 2
listen,
years younger than Strasburg and 4 years younger than Cole.
They're not legitimate aces, though. He's not a legitimate ace.
I already have a legitimate ace.
You're sure about that?
No, but that's what we're gonna say right now.
Okay. Listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just.
I got
he's
you.
been- He's pitched. He definitely has pitched like an ace in the past.
I've seen him pitch
He's-
like a.
he's-
Look at Michael
he's
Barkan
inconsistent.
with the Santa Claus beard. That's a bad look. Frank, you seeing this?
Do you know Michael Barkan went to
yeah.
graduated from East Brunswick High School the same year my sister went to East Brunswick High School.
Why don't we get
my
him on the show then?
My sister knows him.
Let's get him on the show. What are we doing?
He's not going to come on the show. He's on
Why?
because he's probably got
Jim Jackson's on TV all the time. He
Yeah,
comes
that's
on all
true.
the time.
I could probably get him.
Yeah, Michael B.
You want me to try to get? I'll
yeah,
try.
Get,
I can't.
Get him on.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we'll see if he
I'll
cracks
give it
some
a
jokes.
shot.
See if he gives the little people a chance here
Okay.
at A2D
He
Radio.
might. Listen, he might.
Give us a
especially
chance to grow some more.
If we name drop and we just say Jim Jim comes on a lot for us.
Yeah, this is your strong suit. You get on the phone and you make shit happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm good at that.
Yeah,
I'm good at that. I go into collector mode, and
yeah.
and just persuade, get
the
people
trade-
to see things my way.
The trade that I would keep an eye on for the Phillies is it seems like the Chicago Cubs are going to be mixing it up here in the offseason. And
Carlos Quintana.
I have my eye on Chris Bryant. I think he's going to get traded. I think
Really?
seems like it. Because I think that
Where are you going to put him in? At third or left?
third. Oh, either. I mean,
He can play both.
he can play everywhere.
See.
Him and Bryce are buddies. His contract's about to be up. He's a Boris guy. Boris likes to keep his guys together. So then you'll have Reese, you'll have Harper, and you'll have Bryant
and by all rights, the Cubs really couldn't ask for that much for him because he hasn't been that good the last couple of years.
He was good last year.
Was he?
Yeah, he was good last. He
was
was
came
hurt.
back.
He was hurt 2 years ago. He had to bounce back
Okay.
last year. He had a good season last year.
Because last year, all I ever heard of was the shortstop.
Yeah, Baez. He's
Baez.
a
That's all
beast.
that's all I heard last year was
Yeah,
Baez,
but I don't know.
Baez,
They
Baez.
got rid of Madden. Epstein and their owners, they really feel like they should be in the playoffs every year with their talent. And I can't say they're wrong. You got
I will say this. Epstein is not afraid to pull the trigger. I just don't know what you could give them that would persuade.
I would make
It would have to be a now trade. Like you'd have to give them somebody who could play now.
the trade
Well, let
that
me ask you a
Joel
question. Would you?
Well, the
would you
trade that
trade-
Joel Sherman
Would
tweeted
you trade Hoskins for Bryant?
that doesn't why would the Cubs do that? Brian they have Rizzo.
Because he could play the outfield.
Hoskins can barely play first, Brad.
Okay.
He can't play
All
the
right.
outfield.
All right. Well, they tried him at the
I know.
outfield. I guess it was
saw
very
it.
good. All right, he
I
wasn't
saw it for 162 games. I
Yeah,
know.
all right.
I
All
know
right.
they tried.
All right.
And they failed.
good. Okay.
But the trade that Joel Sherman tweeted was Gene Segura and Jay Bruce for Jason Hayward and Chris Bryant.
They might do that.
because they.
The Cubs would I think the Cubs would do that because they would probably love to get that Jason.
Well, they want
Hayward
to. Yeah,
contract
it's a
off
dump
their
of
books.
Hayward.
Yeah, I think they would do that.
It's a steep price to and they.
Rob, it's the same principle as the Yankees with Hap.
We'll give
but
you,
Chris
we'll
Bryant.
Give you,
Chris
we'll give you one
Bryant's
of
a
our-
nice.
We'll give you one of our top prospects.
Yeah, but I'm giving Bryant $300 million when he walks in the door. You know.
right. Yeah, he's a really great player.
Yeah.
The only thing is you do have to take Hayward, but if you're going to take Hayward, you need to make the Cubs. You need to make the Cubs pay a little bit on that contract. You can't. Just
I don't
take
know
the
if you're
full-
going to get that because that's a really discounted price. Because Jason Hayward, he's not worth his contract, but he's a good player.
How many years does he have left?
68 million, I think, is left.
Oh, that's it.
I could be totally wrong.
Wasn't it originally 7 for 180?
He got a crazy amount of money.
Yeah, but if he's got 4 left at 68 mil, or even if it's 3 left at 68 mil,
It might be 85. I forget. Should have wrote it down when I saw it.
yeah, I mean,
But I don't. But we gotta wrap up
Yeah, I
because
would-
it's after 10.
I would
But
do that.
I don't think Cesar Hernandez is going to be here next year. I don't think they're going to be paying him $10 million next year. I think he'll be traded for some bullpen pieces. I don't think Gene Segura is going to be on the team next year. Doesn't seem like him and Joe Girardi are going to be a mix at all.
Joe Girardi would love to get Didi Gregorius.
I think Didi Gregorius could.
I think
Didi
Didi
Gregorius is
Gregorius
either
would
going to be
mind-
on the Phillies or the Reds.
Yeah, I think Didi Gregorius started his career in the Reds. I don't think he wants to go back there. Didi Gregorius wants
I mean,
to
he's
win.
going to go where the money is. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Sports Hounds. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Good night,
We'll be-
everybody.
We'll be back next week. Have a good week, everyone.